Batman is many things: extremely intelligent, master of most martial arts, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. But one quality about Batman that is often overlooked is his compassion. People see clips of Batman crippling thugs and think he's just some dark, vengeful person, and that's it. And in some cases, that is accurate. But I see Batman as more. Batman is the best of humanity, not because he's a rich, fit superhero in peak condition, but because at the end of the day, in the toughest situations, he tries. He tries to make the right call with impossible odds, and more importantly, he tries to save people that seem impossible to save. And if you stick around, we can learn together exactly how Batman cares for people and villains, even if it means sacrificing his sleep, his peace, his wealth, and at worst, his freedom.
But you're different. You don't have any special powers.
Oh, I have one, Johnny. I never give up.
What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Batman? Is it the gadgets, the cool cars, the heroicness? Let me stop you right there. I know exactly what it is. It's the beast, isn't it? There are countless videos and clips online of Batman just straight up destroying his foes. And it's even become a bit of a meme online where you see a person committing a very minor crime like smoking in a non-smoking area or parking in a handicapped spot, and Batman just swoops in and jumps them, just straight mollywops them. Now, although this is funny as fuck, this is also next level slander. If Batman was this hard on crime, there will be zero crime in Gotham. And so far, I haven't seen any stories where Batman straight up just eliminates all crime. And let's be honest, if Batman was actually like this, he would be a terror to regular citizens, just another person that victimizes them. And this is the real crime that Batman cares about. It's the crime that hurts other people in a real way. The same kind of crime that took his parents. If you ever read the comic series Gotham War, Batman did some bad shit in that story, like altering Red Hood's mind to make him incapable of doing anything dangerous or being a hero at all. But the reason Batman went to such measures is that Catwoman was turning Gotham's goons from dumb goons to villains like the Joker into highly trained thieves. In her eyes, it was a victimless crime because they would only steal from the rich exclusively. Red Hood was helping her in this. But Batman knew better, because when one of Catwoman's thieves chose the wrong house, he was shot dead. And even worse, Batman knew that this man who died committing this crime left his child an orphan. Crime had gone down, but now there's a child out there who's fatherless because of a quote-unquote victimless crime. I think this is one of the lesser examples of how much Batman cares, but it's crazy to me to think that Batman knows this random lackey's whole life story. Like, how did he know that he had a whole family? Batman had to have let him go once. This isn't even a criminal that Batman would send to the hospital, believe it or not. This is someone Batman would have saved, would have just say, hey, go away and sin no more, kind of like Jesus. And there are many more people that Batman attempted to save or show compassion to. I'm going to lift off some feats, mostly from the cartoons and video games. In Batman Arkham City, Mr. Freeze holds the Cure hostage and even tries to kill him because Batman wanted to take the Cure first before finding Freeze's wife, because if he didn't, he could actually die on the way to trying to find Freeze's wife. Even after defeating Freeze and losing the Cure, Batman still promises Freeze that he will help him find his wife. In Batman the Animated Series, Batman has tried to reform villains like Harley Quinn and the Riddler on multiple occasions, and he's also comforted villains while they cried. Like that one character, I believe her name was Baby Doll. Batman even stays with Ace as she died because she was scared and didn't want to be alone. She was just a kid, and Batman understood that. And if Batman can prevent a villain from dying, it is just as good as saving an innocent to him, because Batman believes in second chances. And it shows in the fact that Batman refuses to kill. Batman understands that crime creates more crime, except for the crime of being a vigilante, lol. Batman values life and would never take it on purpose, as it's not only wrong and goes against the idea of giving second chances, but killing is also the crime that took his parents from him. It makes his whole character. It's his whole origin story. And that's one of the reasons I think Zack Snyder's whole thing about making Batman not a killer, limiting him, was just some straight up nonsense from a person who probably doesn't really even know the character that well. Batman even tries to save and reform the Joker at one point. Second chances are the reason why Batman invests in making his city better, both with his money and with a hands-on approach. But does Batman deem anyone not worth helping or talking things out with? To answer that question, I have to give you an example. If a cop pulls you over for speeding and you cooperate, they'll just give you a ticket. Or if it's your first time, they might even just give you a verbal warning. But if they come to your vehicle and they see a person tied up in the back seat and you pull a weapon on them, you might get arrested, if not just straight up murked. In most pieces of media, if Batman is knocking someone out, it's because they are actively a threat or armed and dangerous. Batman doesn't use violence unless necessary, and he definitely doesn't take some kind of sick pleasure in it. In case I haven't made it clear already, the reason why Batman doesn't just avoid this moral dilemma and just solely invest in Gotham's programs for the betterment of the city is because Gotham's programs and officials are just as corrupt as they come. Gotham is just one big ass hood, so he wouldn't really know if his money is being used properly or just going into someone else's pocket. This is why he uses his Bruce Wayne persona to give back publicly and just risk his peace and freedom for a more hands-on approach to making Gotham better via the Batman. If you look at Batman at face value, you might see what's popular, which is the beatdowns, and admittedly, I also find that entertaining. But I feel as if there is so much more to the character than just some angry rich orphan. I feel like that's only percent. And the rest of his story, traits, and personality have a lot of relatability and room to be inspired by. I know it inspired me growing up, but if you like content based around our favorite superheroes, definitely consider subscribing.